when did you first meet Taylor Sheridan?
I met Taylor through my wife. He was an acting coach back in L.A. Quite a few years ago now, and she introduced me to him. I was running a scene with her, and she had this look like, "You're awful. Have you ever tried coaching?" She said after I was reading the scene with her. I was like, "Oh, we were dating at the time." I was like, "Oh shit, dude."
Wow.
Yeah. So she introduced me to Taylor, and Taylor came over, and we were running some scenes.
So he's an acting coach.
He was an acting coach. He was an actor. Acting coach, and he would travel around to all the actors' houses, or you'd go to his place. And I remember vividly how incredibly intelligent he was, and how he broke down a scene and my character and tensions and all of that stuff that I didn't think about. I was like, this is not in my repertoire. And we had stayed coach for a year on and off, whatever, for that, and then sort of went our separate ways. And then Yellowstone came around, and an opportunity to audition for Yellowstone, and I passed. I'm from New York.
You passed on Yellowstone.
Well, it wasn't. Yes, it wasn't Yellowstone. The Yellowstone we know at that time, but it was Kevin Costner and it was Taylor. But I'm from New York, and Lee was supposed to be the best cowboy, riding like the wind and out there. I'm like, I've been on a horse twice in my life, so I passed and. Not ever thinking it would get to Taylor, or Taylor would even know that I'm on some audition list.
Understood.
And I would say about 40 minutes later, my wife gets a call from Taylor with him cursing me out and saying, "Why the hell is your guy not auditioning for Yellowstone? Get him on tape today, and I want to see it by 3 p.m. And she hangs up the phone, and she's like, "Well, I'm going to put you on tape for Yellowstone today." It's like, "All right, let's go." And I did, and I got it. Taylor called a couple days later, and he's like, "Hey, do you want to come play a cowboy and come to Utah right now and learn how to ride a horse?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And arguably the best experience of my life, learning how to be. And best part of our job is learning a little about a lot of different things,
sure.
And learning the world of being a cowboy and all riding horses, and it was fascinating, and I miss it terribly.
Well, I mean, obviously, and we'll get to Lioness in a second, you're doing well in that regard, but did you know your character had a short span?
I did.
Spoiler alert.
I did. Well, yeah, I read the script, and obviously I knew I was going to die, but what I didn't know, again, was how much fun I'd have. And it was a funny story. It was day one of shooting. My first scene was I was dead on the horse, where Costner picks me off the horse and sort of lays me in the lap. So playing dead's hard to begin with, which I've learned. It's just hard.
Yeah.
Playing dead on a horse is like that times 100, because you're trying to not breathe, and Costner pulls me off the horse. This is take one. Lays me in his lap, and when he lays me in his lap, I promise you, I feel like this. across my cheek, okay? And in the scene, he's saying this beautiful monologue, and he's kissing my forehead, he's crying, and I'm just... All I could think about was how much my mom would want to trade places with me. Like, right, I said, what happened to my life? Where am I? As I'm feeling like soft tears, just the softest lips, and
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's a true story.
Wow.
I was like, he's a very lucky man.
Also,
Who cares if Horizon didn't do well in the movie today? He's fine. He's fine.
He's doing all right.
oh my God! And a testament to his acting ability.
Oh yeah. He kept it together.
Because he probably, felt his placement.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
He could stay in the scene.
Yeah, I felt maybe squeezed a little tighter.
So talk about things you can't expect in life. But that
number one
in your career, it's got to be at the very top. Especially since you're sent to go learn how to ride a horse, and your first scene is to play dead on one.
Dead on one.
And then this happens.
Probably my most memorable experience from my adult life.
I should say.
The Giants winning the Super Bowl is just below.
And here I was going to say, well, tell me what it's like to act with Kevin Costner, and I've gotten my answer without asking the question.
I can tell you what it's like to work with all of Kevin Costner. No, he's great.
Is it true he told you that you had to dye your beard, so that shot of you that's not really your natural
yes,
color?
and I totally understand why. You know, obviously, I look much older with the Santa Claus hair, but
Right.
I think it would make his character look older,
Right.
and I think we're trying to keep that world very much the same. So
Right.
it made a lot of sense. But you know, they did. It was basically kind of a Tim, our hair guy, was like spray painting it every day,
Yeah.
and it was awesome. I mean, I love the beard. Look at Costner.
Dude,
First time I came up from his lap, right?
Come on, man. He can't. I mean, he's been on this show multiple times,
Yes,
and
sir.
he is just the most awesome dude.
Is a legend.
He is that.
He really is, and has earned all of the accolades that he's got. It was very cool, especially for not so young of an actor, but as an actor to work with Mr. Costner, and there was a moment where we're in the van going up to ride horses with buffalo. And there's 100 buffalo out there, and he's telling us stories from Dances with Wolves, and when he was directing, and the Native Americans riding with the buffalo. I mean, it was just, all of it was very surreal and wild. And Taylor is insanely talented, and there's a reason why he's got, I think it's 7 shows now on Paramount Plus.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.